Hello, hello. Welcome to today's messages. Let's anchor in with some sounds of beautifulness. Mhm, mhm. Beautiful. Yes. Hello. Yes, and hello. Let's see what cards are for us today. Let's check in with the energies. Tap in. See what comes out for us from the keys to the Octurians. Yes, Mims. No, 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 no. Sneaky little monkey. What's that? Get it. No. They know what that word means. Okay. Let's see what cards are for us today. What are we to consider on this gray day? Be your own sunshine. Yes. What's this one? Something about going with the flow as we embody the water element here. Contact. What is it? What is it? Where is it? Oh, what? The elusive one. Seriously. What the? This is just it. I've made contact. It is contact. Yay! Can you see it? Where are the words? There we go. The energy of contact allows you to know that all doors to your inner source will open when you surrender and, like water, go with the flow. Yes. Okay. And, you might have to try a few times to get there, right? But don't stop trying. Commit. Keep trying until you find it, till you get there, till you make the connection. Yes. Okay, let's get one of the runes to give us an all-around contact with our higher self. This is how I feel. It's like, in submarines, and they've got those like telescopes, and it's using mirrors or whatever, but you're actually looking above the surface. Well, this is what making contact with your higher self is like, right? You become this telescope looker, and you're looking through the eyes of your higher self, who can see above the surface of things. Yes. That's a perfect analogy. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. And yeah, you might have to figure out how to work this telescope before you start to see things clearly. But don't give up. Don't give up. Keep searching around, and you will find land or whatever it is that you're looking for through your telescope. Whatever it is you need to see as you are looking through. Okay, that's too many. But we'll take the things that need to be, okay? And Mims keeps trying to infiltrate. You stay over here. Okay. Oops. So these three flipped up. Okay. I don't think we're gonna have very good lighting here. We've got Iwas, Perthrow, and Degas. Okay. And then this one was flipped over, like face down. And this is, I think, your connection to your higher self. And it requires a certain level of engagement to make that connection, right? You have to pick up the card and flip it over. Don't you try, you little scramper. Okay, so let's see. She's almost got it. I'm trying to teach her how to open the door for herself. So Degas, the butterfly, breakthrough, awakening, enlightenment, balance point, transformation. Beautiful. Yes, yes, and yes. We're there. We're feeling it. We're seeing it. We're experiencing it. Iwa's teamwork, trust, harmony, marriage, loyalty. She got out. Good for her. And Perthrow, good omen, fate, the unknown, initiation, and the occult. Very auspicious. And what's that other one? Kinas. See, again, you have to make the effort to find the things. They're not just going to, they're very consenting. You have to consent, and you consent through your action. Okay? Enlightenment, creativity, skill, offspring, learning. Beautiful. This connection to your inner. So we've got partnership, we've got rebirth, transformation, ×2, right? The Perthrow, the snake, is very connected. It's got a third eye right in the center of itself here. Kinaz, lighting your way through the dark, it encourages you to be a self-starter and to take initiative guided by curiosity and intelligence. Okay. And Perthrow, deeply mystical rune, deals with the fundamental mysteries of the universe, such as the flow of individual and collective fate. It's a good omen if an outcome is yet unknown. And that's exactly it. We're moving into the unknown because we're forging a new path, forging the way. While a swift energy, Iwaz uses no force. Its way is persuasion, suggestion, and invitation of friendship. The power of this rune lies in union and partnership. Okay, gorgeous. So we're making contact. We're making contact with ourselves. We're making contact with our higher knowing. We're making contact with our own communication between our higher selves and our bodies. We are constantly evolving and transforming and making contact with people who are for our greatest and highest good, like a soul tribe, right? People who resonate on levels, on all the levels, on most of the levels, on the kind of levels that matter. And right now we're in the realm of energy, right? High vibe, high frequency, high vibe tribe. Because yeah, it's about people meeting you where you're at now, not you meeting people where they're at, unless they're at where you're at, right? It's not about lowering your frequency, slowing your progression or flight pattern. It's about flowing alongside people who are also flowing in the same direction at the same speed and time and space. And it's beautiful, yes. Okay. Let's see what cards are for us today. What's gonna come up for us to consider? Okay. Let's see. What's our... Oh, it's the King of Wands. There's the action, okay? The masculine energy, the one who holds the vision, the one who leads, okay? The one who sees what they want clearly and goes for it and takes it and makes it happen. And this is exactly your connection with your higher realms. You need to take the action. You need to raise your frequency. You need to, we're dealing with communication that's happening on frequencies that need to be met, right? It's like tuning in. You can't, if you, like, your higher self is on a radio station that's up here and you can't hear it when you're on these other radio stations down lower, right? You have to tune into the frequency where it's playing in order to hear what it's saying. And that takes your action. That takes mindful engagement in your world in a way that is promoting high vibration, high frequency activities, okay? And the first step is to release. And releasing is definitely the way that you proceed, the way that you tune, right? Because as what you're releasing is dense energy, what you're releasing is attachments and hooks and things, vibrations that are lower, right? So every time you release them, you make yourself lighter. I always think of releasing like weights, right? You are trying to lift your balloon up higher in the sky, and you are inundated, is that the right word, with a bunch of heavy material in your basket. And every time you make the conscious effort, every time you go into the forest and hug a moss seal until you bawl your eyes out, you are releasing, you're picking up these weights and dumping them out of your basket, thus enabling a lift, a lightening, right? A heightening. Yes. And in this one too, right, it's not just like, it's not so, well, check that. Sometimes you need to. Sometimes you're like, okay, I'm good with that. And you just, like the sandbags on the side that you just cut off and release, right? Who knows where it's going to hit. Poor guy down there, right? But this is about also honoring. There's a certain level of acknowledgement, and that's why some things aren't so easy to let go of, because some of those things were a part of your journey up until now, right? And so take the time to acknowledge and cherish and give it love, give it thanks, give it praise, grieve, and then let it go. Bury it, make a little shrine, and then light it on fire and walk away, right? Kind of thing. Okay, we've got a King of Swords who's a fool. Okay, here is a communication that is led from a place of faith and trust. This is communicating your truth after a period of transformation. And this is part of the discernment necessary on what to release, what is no longer, what is weighing you down. You have to have a clear ability to look around you and be like, okay, what's heavy in here? What do I not need anymore? Right? This. Wow, that's really heavy. Okay, what do I got to do to get rid of it? What do I, love it, wrap it up, put a bow on it, right? Do your ceremony, do whatever, and then off it goes. Okay. And then this is you freeing yourself from the weights and becoming light, becoming able to fly, to meet your higher self in the higher realms through your higher frequencies. Too many metaphors? No. You know what's going on. Okay, yes. Speaking your world into being and being very mindful of what you speak, because your words are empowered. And the closer you get to the high frequency, the more potent your words become. And so, what you speak creates your world. So have some boundaries around what it is you're speaking, right? Only speak on the things that are love. Only speak on the things that you want in your world, right? Love, abundance, peace, joy, harmony, all those things. So very mindful of the world that you're creating and the boundaries around that. This is also around like externally as well. The kind of people that you want in your world. People, places, and things. If you can't see them contributing or being a shining factor in your world, then they don't get a place at your table, right? You have to, this is also this discernment on when to make the boundaries, when to cut the things away. And yes, those weights in your basket that you are releasing are also people, places, and things, right? You can love them. And that's why sometimes it's not so easy to cut loose people or to set them free. Think of it as setting them free, because they can do the work too. They've got their own balloon. They can meet you up there, but they can't ride in your basket. They have to do their own work and get there on their own. I think that's the equivalent of spiritual bypassing, and it doesn't work, right? It's like we're all coal and we all have the potential to turn into diamonds, but you can't not endure the pressure. You have to, because that's what it takes to become a diamond, right? That's what it takes to get to the higher realms of gorgeousness, okay? And you do that through your regular upkeep and clear, intented focus on where you're going, what you want. This is the world. This is the world that you're creating. Love, harmony, peace, joy, happiness, prosperity, amazingness, right? This is what this King of Wands is keeping his eye on and taking action towards. This is the world you speak into being. So make sure you are speaking the world into being by using its language of love, peace, joy, and all those things. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so this is the death and release card, which encourages transformation. And the moon. Okay, so the moon is things yet to be revealed. This is divine timing. This is phases, processes, acknowledgement of timing, and all that kind of stuff. And it's also a little bit of a fear of the unknown, of the unseen, of the dark, right? And this transformation process, we are constantly going through transformation processes. It's like another one? Okay, right? But this is it. This is the tuning, right? Every time you tune, you are transforming, you are releasing. And so this is a constant thing, right? So don't fear the transformation. Don't fear the unknown, because the unknown is the threshold to this. And there's only one way of getting there. You got to tune into it, and you can only tune in through the death of the old and the birth of the new. And what a beautiful card to follow. Can you guess what it is? It's the sun. Yeah. Okay. So this is why it's important to push through. This is why it's important to trust the process and to go with the flow of it, because the flow is leading you to balance. The flow is leading you to this revelation. All that was hidden will be revealed. All that was unknown will be known, right? And you are trusting in this. I want to put the death card up here. And the sun and the moon. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. And this is also the kind of relationships, because as soon as I put that there, then Iwaz was like, because it's a horse, right? And it's like, yes, this is balanced, beautiful, reciprocating, like-minded, gorgeous relationships that you are drawing in, of people who have lifted their own baskets through their own processes of releasing, right? The weights, the heavy things that no longer serve. Oh, what is this? There it is, your temperance. This is process. This is balance. This is your death and your birth, your light and your shadow, your masculine and your feminine. This is the temperance, the process of transformation, of turning a weak metal into a strong sword, right? This is a necessary part of the process. And I feel like this is where you're discerning and creating boundaries around, is making sure that you have this space to do this, to feel this, to embody this as you transform, because you recognize that this is an important part. Okay. And so we've got a 10 of Wands, and this is giving me that overthinking, trying to think your way through, trying to think yourself into contact with your higher self, but it's actually the opposite. It's the quieting of the mind, right? The no thinking, the peace, this place of peace. It's like when you're tuning into the radio station, you can't have, your boom box going off in the background and expect to hear anything on the radio, right? So you need to quiet, you need to tune in, or to be able to hear what it is that you're tuning into for things to be successful. Okay. And we've got an emperor who has made a wish. Okay. And I feel like this is you going after what you want. This is you making the connection with your desire, with your wish, right? The emperor is very strategic, and makes decisions for the good of all, and is very powerful. And because of where they're placed, it seems like this connection with your higher self is the wish, this freedom. It's almost like wishing upon yourself, right? Because you are the star and you make your own wishes happen. You grant your own wishes. And this emperor is making his wishes come true. By following intuition and connecting to the higher realms. It's so cool because we've got Kina as the white owl and Iwa as the white horse. And this is like divine purity and gorgeous, like innocence, but yet it's powerful, right? Horses are so majestic, but they're also super powerful. Okay, we've got towers crumbling as you move forth. And I feel like this is towers that you leave behind you, right? As you move confidently, you create towers. And this is another important part of the process, right? And this is something else that you have to be really good at being at peace with, right? As you remove yourself from people's lives, you are creating little towers for them because they no longer have access to you. They no longer have the benefit of your presence and what you bring to the table and the things that you offer or did or whatever, right? And same with, people, places, and things. This is you leaving a pile of rubble wherever you go, right? But it's transformative, it's healing, it's allowing old structures that were built on illusion and, less than betrayal and lies, deceit, whatever. You're crumbling them down. You're like, no, this is bullshit. Psh, psh, I cut you. Bang. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing. Okay. But this is why it's important for the integration of your light and your shadow, right? Your shadow version of self is the one who cuts and can be okay with that, can hold that, right? It's not like, towers are falling and people are crying in the rubble and you're standing over them being like, ha ha ha, or anything. It's more like you're no longer going to feed into facades, into illusions, and this recognition of when you moved out of the way of it, that you and your attention and presence there was actually what was keeping the facade up. And by removing yourself, it's just a byproduct, right? And this will allow others to do with what they need to do with it, right? It's either going to inspire, encourage them to rebuild in truth and love, or they create another facade with somebody else. And it doesn't matter because you're walking away, right? You're walking away. Okay, beautiful. So who should we? Let's go with the power deck. I'm feeling the power deck here. Oops, these three. Try that again. Try it again, Sam. Okay. Okay, let's try it again, Sam. But we do have release coming out on the flips. Okay. Okay. Let's get one card from the power deck here that wants to come out and say hi to us. What? There we go. Centering. Never leave your center. Count your bad points as well as your good. What is good and what is bad are most often purely relative. If you sense a weakness within yourself, explore it. It may become the source of your greatest strength. As you sit like a sacred Buddha amid the pandemonium of your life, always remember that the situation or person who has the ability to upset you the most, to pull you off center, is your greatest teacher in the process of centering. Such negativity can become your addiction. Center yourself in your power and release your need for constant distraction from your center. Ooh, and this is another way of getting into that contact with your higher self, right? You can't be looking through this periscope. Is it a periscope? When you're looking over there and doing that over there and listening to that over there, right? You need to focus. You need to be present in your task, right? There's the Buddha in the middle of the noise. Still finding the center. Beautiful. Okay, well, there's more. There's more. Okay, 28. The painting is entitled The American Buddha. Centering is one of the most important aspects of your training on your path to power. If you do not live in your center, you live on the perimeter of power, never inside the world of power. The Buddha image recurs quite often in these cards. To the shaman, the Buddha signifies the higher self, the self that has grown out of worldly distractions. The fact that the Buddha is sitting in meditation in the center of a busy city implies that you ascend to the world of spirit and the higher self through centering, meditating, and focusing on the inner world. There is a city of activity around each of us, and around this Buddha, there is much assault on the senses. By focusing on your inner self and staying centered, you can transcend the daily distractions and not be attached to them. Simply witness them as they whirl around you. Centering is a North card because it takes strength and wisdom to stay centered through the various tests of power. Looking at your problems as tests of power will help you to understand the teachings of the North. Coolio. Yeah, because how you choose to respond, that's your test of power, right? The minute you are provoked to respond in a angry, resentful, like these are all low vibrating frequency emotions, and you out yourself as being a puppet, right? Somebody else has control over how you respond, your disposition. And so the power is to be able to maintain your centeredness regardless of what anybody is projecting, right? And choosing how. It's not about not being angry or not being upset. It's about you choosing how you respond versus someone else provoking you and you responding in kind, right? Yes, I agree with myself because nobody's here to argue with me. Okay. Let's get some mini-Ds here to add and confirm some things. Okay. What else is gonna come up for us about this reading? Within this reading, I mean, the message is pretty clear to center yourself. Oh, wow. One of them flipped. Can you guess which one it is? Can you guess? Bum, bum, bum. Yes, it's the sun. Okay. The sun is the brightest circle I know, shining its light on the people below, helping the plants and flowers to grow. Yes, the sun is the brightest circle I know. Yes. So this is a confirmation of your sun power, of all things will be revealed, right? So just know that and move forward. If it's dark over there, it's okay. Things will be revealed in divine timing. If you don't know, if it's the unknown, it's okay. This is your trusting. This is your leap of faith. This is your moving forward with strength and certainty that you're headed towards your greatest and highest timeline and that all things are working in your favor. And, you know, regardless of what it looks like, because you recognize that it takes several cooperative components to make these kinds of things happen. And so, you know, a flat tire that ends up making you late or ends up making you go to a mechanic that you wouldn't normally, and then you run into so and so, and like all these little instances that need to line up. Right? This is about not feeling that, oh, why is this happening to me? This is this must be part of the plan, right? Big difference in where your power and your focus and your energy is going into. Okay, and then we've got the Hanged One. Okay, so this is your ability to see things from different perspectives, and that is just what I was saying, right? A validation of that, because how you perceive your now is going to affect your future, right? If your now is showing you hurt and you respond in love, you are sowing love seeds into your new world. Okay, because everything that is in your now is a reflection of choices and responses that you made in your past. And this is why it takes a little time when you are rewiring your brain to see things differently, to respond to things differently. It takes some time because you spent most of your life responding and reacting in this other way, which was producing this world that you're in right now, right? And so trust the process. This is that blind faith. This is exactly blind faith. Okay, and we've got the lovers. Okay, there's your balance. There's your sun and your moon. There's your happily ever after. Okay, yes, why not? Why can't you have love as well? You create a love world. Love will be there for you, okay? And yeah, it's going to be with someone else who is also creating and manifesting the love world. And then you're like, oh, hey, I'm not the only one here. No, oh, wow, there's a whole bunch of people here. Yeah, we all just landed in our baskets over there, right? And it's like, woohoo, party, love party, full of stars. Okay, that's where you're actually headed. That's where your basket's going. It's going up into the heavens where stars are, because you're one. You're a star. Okay, and there's a moon confirmation. Wow, we've got the sun and the moon confirmation. And so I think this is part of this lover situation, right? As within, so without. As you balance your light and your shadow, as you become both the sun and the moon within, you draw in that kind of balanced gorgeousness outside of you in your reality. Ba-bam! Okay, we've got the Hierophant, and this is beautiful bonds that will stand the test of time. Okay, this is, yes, self-mastery, in touch with your third eye and your ability to see through your periscope at where you want to go and how you're getting there, and that bringing you into divine unions, sacred partnerships, gorgeous, lasting everythings. Yay! Okay. And we've also got your intuition, which is exactly where and how you get there. Okay. It's the, what would it be in the basket analogy? Well, whatever it is, it's your connection to it that is moving you to where you want to be, to where you're getting to. Trust your intuition, right? This is another part of this contact within, right? You have to also trust what it is that you're seeing and act upon it, right? You can see through that periscope that you got to go this way, but until you send the message to the crew, you're just going to keep heading in the direction you were going, right? You have to push the buttons, you have to turn the wheel, you have to take the necessary action. Okay. We've got Molly like a cloud. She is the embodiment of that luscious state between purring and sleep. Molly understands the healing magic of stretching her paws, arching her back, letting out a long mew, then settling into a cozy circle of softness and rest. For a moment, or maybe longer, let go of everything you feel you have to do and consciously relax your body and mind. Slow down your breath. Savor the stillness between each inhale and exhale. Close your eyes, unwind, soften. You deserve the gentle healing of relaxation. Okay, and this is giving me that centering, right? You can't be in this kind of environment in order to make the connection, make the contact. Okay, we've also got Silvio Silverma. You won't find him on the well-worn paths of habit and normalcy. However, if you brush away the spiderwebs and circle around the giant trees, you will find Silvio wandering down a path with no paw prints. This road less traveled is often obscured by errant wildflowers and ferns, but if you look for it with an open mind, you will see its peculiar winding way. Turn off the main road and try something new. A new hobby, a new belief, a new way of doing something, a new perspective on a familiar situation. If you usually go right, experiment with going left, a road less traveled. Okay, and we also have masculine and feminine kitties here. Okay, masculine and feminine. And this is that balance, which is all up in this reading with the sun and the moon and the sun and the moon. Gorgeousness. Okay, yes, that makes sense. To put the centering on the crystal that is, by the way, I refer to it, it's something that grounds you in the earth, but it's a crystal. It is a couple 100 million years old it takes to make a petrified piece of wood. Okay, which is pretty awesome. I didn't mean to downplay it, but also look, it's like a cross section of a branch because it's got the bark that goes all the way around. Why can't you see? There we go. Right? Very cool. Yes. And it also has this gorgeous, it looks kind of like a seagull. Flying. It's a bird and is flying away, which is interesting balance of its own because it's such a tethering, grounded, rooted thing to also have a depiction of something flying. And so this is that balance between your roots and your limbs, right? Because you're a tree. You're the tree of life. And you need to be reaching up as much as you are reaching down. Yes. Yes. Okay, I think that is it for today. Let's set. Wow. Okay, gorgeous. Gorgeous reading for today. This is about your contact, okay, your connection. But look at this, like, what, right? Speaking your words, having discernment, creating boundaries, moving confidently forward. This is supposed to be here. Creating your world, trusting, letting the things fall away, clearing away your mind. It's also a 10, and this is the end of a cycle, right? The end of overthinking, because you have found and reclaimed your power in the stillness because it connects you to your higher knowing, right? To your intuition. The releasing, okay, gorgeous. There you have it. Thank you for being here. I wish you all the luck in your grounding and centering and connecting, okay? Because it's magical, you're magical, and I'll see you here soon. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.